First, I'd like to thank, everyone that prayed for me when I was in the hospital and for this deal. I really appreciate it. It meant a lot to me. About 15 years ago, Jesus gave me a wife that is a woman of God, a very precious woman. And up to that point, I thought I had a great relationship with God. I always talked to God, and I shared everything with Him, and everything was fine. And then I met Bonnie, and I saw really what a relationship with God was all about, and I wasn't anywhere close to it. And it's taken me several years to get to this point. There was just things I didn't want to give up. To be completely with God. Then I got this last deal in the hospital. When I hurt my back, I had all the faith in the world that God would fix it. I mean, He's always done that for me, and everything that I've ever been hurt or got into, God has always been there, and He's always pulled me out of it. And this time that was a little different. I decided that I would throw away all the things that were keeping me from surrendering to God completely. And I started out with really big things, and which is pretty easy in the shape I was in. And that went on for several days, and until I had given up everything that separated me from being one with God. And on the last day that we went to the hospital to get a spinal shot, and there was a mix-up in the information on what was to happen, and so they couldn't give me the shot, and the pain was just unreal. It was I guess I passed out a couple times, and I gave myself to Jesus right there. I said, I'm all yours, and even through the pain, it was a relief to finally be where I wanted to be. And I'd wanted that for 3-4 years and never seemed to be able to get to the point. So then Friday that night we come home from the hospital, and I was in a lot of pain, and the next morning Bonnie had to go to Okanagan for some supplies, and so she left, and I woke up a little later, and there was like my legs felt like they weren't there, and it was a really strange thing because it had been hurting so long, and I had this feeling I should walk, which I hadn't walked in 21, 22 days. And so I got up and I walked, and it was like I didn't have any, I couldn't feel the floor. It was like I didn't have any, it was nothing like I'd ever felt before. It was like I didn't have legs, almost like I was walking on clouds, and I walked a lot that day. I walked around 200 yards of my house. And it was the best feeling. It was like, it was just a great to be walking. And I thought about this quite a bit, and it could only be that God had healed me. That was the one day that I didn't have any pain at all, not one bit. And then that was the next day. Of course, I hurt pretty good because I overdid it on Friday. I've known about being baptized for a few years now, and I really wanted to do that. I want to be one with God and have the full relationship that I've seen other people have. And the only way to do that is to surrender yourself to God completely. It can't be just to me. For me, it can't be just half or 3/4. It has to be full surrender to God. And so this is where I'm at.